Yo, I'm a Businessman Podcast. We back again. Episode 4, Season 2. What's up? It's your boy Vel Smooth.
And what's up? It's Cravel Beals. People know me as Velly, CB Velly, whatever you want to call me.
You know the vibes. I'm here. I need a lineup. Jake Lokes, I'm going to holler at you one after this. But this episode is brought to you by Trev Clothing. I'm sure you heard the name. I'm sure you've seen the brand. He's everywhere. And you got some new things dropping. I think you got a fall collection, some sick tracksuits.
Yeah.
Holla at Trev Clothing, man. The finest Scotian wear, black owned.
Trust, respect, educate, value.
You know what I'm saying?
Trev.
Wearing something that means something. Shout out Trev. Should have had a Trev shirt on today. Much love. Send me one, bro.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Quick plug, Scotian
since 1783.
High Power Customs. Yeah, once you said
shout
the
out
shirt.
High Power Customs,
High
too.
Power Customs, man.
This episode not brought to you by them, but shout out to High Power Customs.
Yeah.
Any custom shirts you need, he got you.
Yeah, that was the quick free promo right there,
exactly.
Man. Yeah,
exactly. But we here again. You know, last week we chatted about generational wealth, building that. The week before we chatted about the week before? Transitioning from the streets to business. You know, a lot of what we talk about is business and building business and business being the pathway. And this week we want to talk about some of the side that we probably don't talk about or show a lot is the challenges and the sacrifices that come with that. And I think, you know, there's a lot. And I think the rationale behind it is we wouldn't be right if we just, come on, it's great. Yeah. It looks great. It looks great. It sounds great. And it is great. But it doesn't come with some major sacrifice, some major challenge. And everyone might not be ready for that. Yeah. Right? But I think, you know, it is important to know that going into it, to prepare yourself. And one, we're not trying to scare no one away, but I think, you know, one, I think it's an outlet for us. And two, I also think it's if you're a business owner, you might be able to connect and understand this and
but we might scare some people away.
Three, we might scare some people away.
That's the reality. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want you to go and quit your job and invest all your money and take out loans and all that shit. And then
look at us like, niggas told me this shit was
and
Gucci.
then you get there and then you run into all these challenges and all these hurdles and all these obstacles, and then you're looking at it like, what the hell did I do? You know what I mean? So, like, you know, this entrepreneurship lifestyle is real. The business lifestyle is real, but so is the reward. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think, like, that's the...
Yeah, and then even a step further, we chatted last week, starting from zero in this world is real. Yeah. Right? Building 100-year plans and building businesses from nothing. Right. And so we got it even harder. Yeah. Right? We got even more challenging. We got even more issues with bad credit and all those things that exist. So, you know, as black people, as people from the culture, as people of color, you know what I'm saying, it's even more. Starting a business as a white male that went to university is hard. Right? So imagine starting a business as a nigga coming from the streets.
As a black female.
You know what I'm saying?
Imagine that. I just seen the post too, like, black females the fastest growing entrepreneurship group in North America.
Sick. I think I've seen that too, and it makes sense. Yeah. Shout out to the black women, and I heard another podcast. Black women are often the leaders of. Well, we go to history that you know, the black woman, you know, led our communities in agriculture. Right. They was out there doing the work. Yeah. And okay, now we see in business. Even in school, when I remember being in school, it was the girls that was getting A's and going to school.
Their minds are different. Eisenberg or whatever the name is, but either way, when the men were in, the reason why America won the war, shout out to Simplicity. The reason why America won the war was because all the men were gone. They were left with women, and women just knew how to do shit better. Straight. You know what I mean? So like they were like making planes faster. Yep. Everything was just working better because women's minds think differently. You know what I mean? So like, you know. That was a whole nother little, like, that's a whole
nother topic.
That's an episode, you know what I mean?
Got to bring a strong black woman in here to chat about that, but that's dope. And, you know, I think it's important that we noted that, the power of women. Yeah. But, you know, to come back to what we're saying around the challenges of business, you know, I'll kind of start off, so many. What would you say has been the biggest challenge for you so far in this entrepreneurial journey?
Getting Novell to be on time.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
That's been like my like.
You're gonna have to keep working for that,
right? Like, you know what I mean? But nah, real shit though. Like, there's just been a lot. You know, I think the biggest challenge is myself. You know, getting myself in the habit of like sacrificing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that. Like again, coming from the culture of like parties and things to do. You know what I mean? Like, it's so much stuff to do. You know, just really being able, like, the sacrifice piece has been the biggest challenge. There's so many more, but I think that's been the biggest challenge. You know what I mean?
And that's a big piece. You know, a lot of times, I think I might have shared with you once, it's to get where we want to go, we're going to have to do things that we've never done.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. You know, to the places we want to be, where we're at now, the way we have got us here. Mm-hmm. But to get to that next step, there's a lot of changes of who we are.
Right.
We got a lot of habits. We come from a lot of, for lack of other words, issues that need to be tweaked, and how we do things have to change.
Right.
To make that next step.
Yeah.
Right. Or even in the next sense, who we have around, and that's what a big part I'm learning is. It's not always how, it's who. Mm-hmm. So it's not. It probably won't be my change. It might be hard for us to really change. We're not going to become managers. We talk about that a lot. Yeah. You know, we're entrepreneurs. We like to create ideas. We don't always like to manage the ideas or, you know, come to work and do the ideas every day. But it's who are the people we're going to bring around to help us go from 1 million to 10 million. Right. Right. And you know, that's the jump. You know, we're in the stage, we created decently successful business in a short amount of times that, you know, reached the higher end of small business, I'd say. Potentially, but to get to that next stage of, okay, $10 million businesses and you know, hundreds of employees, it's going to take some changes. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I would say, you know, that's kind of been a challenge of us is, you know, we're able to create things and bring them to life and make them look big, and they do great and they shine, but it's that next step of creating, you know, those franchisable models, those businesses that really can take that next jump. Yeah. From, and then again, we're trying to do it. We last week we talked about generational wealth. In the first generation, we would be able to create a mom and pop, right, and hand it to our kids. They probably, but we're trying to super grow that. So we want to take it from here to here.
Yeah, but I think you know it's time. You know, it's weird because our challenges, and real quick, I don't use the word problems. Yeah, no, you know, I don't use the word problems, especially in business. It's challenges, and every problem sometimes there's no solution. Yeah, but every challenge there's a way. Yeah, you know what I mean. So I like the word challenge. Our challenges are different than a lot of other people's challenges. Yeah, right. We got some tools in the toolbox. Yeah, you know what I mean. So like, our challenges are different. We do have a lot of challenges that a lot of people deal with, but our challenges are sometimes different because we can find ways to kind of navigate through the ones that we're faced with. I guess my question to you is, what do you think the challenges that other people, we face too, but like other people are for sure going to face when they're entering into this world of business? Like, what do you think? Like, if you could list 5.
Yeah, that's a good question.
See, I hit him with the off script.
Yeah, real quick. Hit me off script. To say 5, well, I had one that came to mind. It was actually in my next kind of piece. You know, for us jumping into business in these 3 years, individually, we've probably seen, putting a dollar amount, no more than $8,000 in 3 years. We just got a nice little bonus check. Yeah, nice little whatever. But yeah, we definitely haven't seen more than $8,000. No, from the businesses paid to ourselves. Right. In those 3 years. Yeah. So, and then people look at us, they probably think we got millions. Right. And the business is paying us millions and all this shit. It's like an early stage of business, a startup. Yeah, profit and in the business we're in, food business, margins are lower. Right. Profitability is not that high. We're reinvesting in the business. We got to build the team. Right. So we're not seeing huge amounts of cash to our bank account.
That's a big challenge.
Sock it to my pocket.
Personal cash flow.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a challenge for us.
Right.
And we got a lot of different. I got to do a lot of other shit to keep my boat afloat.
And a lot of people that I talk to in business that are entering the business world that are kind of in startup mode, like they don't know that they have that problem because they just eating the business money.
Eating the business.
You know what I mean? Like they just eating it. So that's a big problem. So like if we were to kind of like pull one out, that's a problem.
Yeah.
You know, eating your business bank account.
Yeah.
Right? That's a problem.
Yeah. You don't give your business an opportunity to grow.
Challenge. Sorry, that's a challenge.
Yeah, challenge. You just become. You just now a worker. You're in a, you know, the book we refer to a lot, the E Myth. You know, you're just self-employed.
Right.
You just going to work for your business and paying yourself.
Yeah.
And again, you know, don't get me wrong.
That's cool.
It's important to pay yourself.
Right.
And a lot of businesses, there's people on two sides of the fence. But a lot of businesses, they start off, you know, these big softwares and things. They start off, they raise $1 million.
Yeah.
Prior to $1 million, they pay themselves $100,000.
Right.
So I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't got to do nothing else. I don't got to be selling jet skis and going here and going there.
Right.
I'm paid. I'm good. So now I can just lock in on this business.
And focus.
But I also raised $1 million.
Yeah.
We ain't the opportunities are in the world yet.
Right.
Of raising $1 million. There are some black businesses and things that do that, but we ain't hit that yet.
Yeah, and depending on the sector you're in.
The sector in the business, technology, food businesses, you're not getting $1 million to start a food business.
I ain't investing. I ain't investing in food business.
You got to have some crazy
after being
idea.
through a food business.
Yeah,
I ain't. You better be making some food or something.
Doing something
like whatever.
Changing the way we eat or something.
Yeah.
But food business, tough world. So you know, the point is to say, yeah, you give yourself that opportunity to lock in. But in our case, yeah, that's been a challenge to not get paid. Right. To not get paid and to give yourself something every day. And again, we playing a long game, so I can understand and you know it doesn't affect me fully. But to say it don't have an effect, it is real. Like there's I got to make a lot of tough decisions. I gotta hone in a little bit more. I gotta be a little bit more frugal. I gotta do a little bit more over here.
Challenge number 2, knowing what to decide.
Decisions.
Right? Making decisions. Like that's a big challenge because you're faced with thousands of decisions.
Every day.
You know what I mean?
Every day. And
at least 10 every day. You got to make a decision on something. Yeah. And so, you know, if we were to start like, you know, because how I want to, we're just pulling them out. Challenge like that. 1, sacrifice. Yep. 2, eating the business's money. Yep. And 3, decisions. Making. You know what I mean?
You know, a big part, and it's crazy. I had this on my list too. You know, the decision piece is 2 things I'm gonna say. 1, you want to. I met one of my mentors once. He owns a real estate company, huge real estate company in Halifax. You want to keep yourself at 10,000 feet and 10 feet. Stay with the middle ground as a founder, as a CEO, because the middle ground is adding more decisions. Right. At 10,000 feet, I'm probably making one. I'm making 2 decisions a week. Right. We're going this way, or we're doing that.
Or 90 days.
90 days, exactly.
You're making 2 decisions every 90 days. Simplicity.
But in this middle ground, in the ground of management, that's where we've kind of do I do this with the chicken? Do I do that with the chicken? Right. Do I go to this grocery store or do I go to that grocery store? Right. Do I respond this way to a customer this way? And all those decisions, they weigh in on your brain. Now they cloud the bigger decisions. Right. So, you know, the moral of the story is the quicker I can get to 10,000 feet of making 1 decision every 90 days, and 10 feet just means I'm just talking to a customer to get some information. Right. And then I'm making that higher end decision. Right. But it's a challenge to get there. But yeah, you know, really getting out of that decision making, that daily decision making process. And, you know, we talk about it working on the business, not in the business. Yeah. Right.
To anybody that, you know, is already currently running a business, if you're currently thinking of starting a business, if you've been in business for 100 years and you've never read the E Myth, I highly, strongly recommend that book.
100%.
Richard Dunn was the first person that ever gave it to me. Yeah. This dude from Atlanta, he came out here for the Remix Project. He was a speaker. And he just spent the day with me, took him up home, we met Nan, whatever. And he just was with me, and he kind of seen my whole day.
I didn't know he'd give you that book.
And he like, I'm going to give you a book. When I get back, I'm going to send you a book.
Mm-hmm.
And he sent me the book. And I read the book, and it was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we did the Simplicity course,
they had the book.
So that was like, holy shit. Like, I had already read the book.
Sure.
But, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
His grandfather or someone owned a restaurant in Atlanta.
Okay.
So he kind of seen the whole
process.
The process that we were going through, right?
Yeah.
So, like, that book is huge for anybody in business.
Huge book.
You know what I mean?
And the next piece that I missed, but I wanted to tap back to, is, that challenge of decision making and that weigh on your brain and stress. And we might talk about stress. If you just work a job, 9 to 5, you might have some decisions to make. But at 5 o'clock, you home. You plugged out.
Unplug.
You gone with the kids. You gone with the friends. You gone to drink. You gone to do whatever the hell. You gonna watch Netflix.
Yeah.
Our brains don't turn off.
No.
It's decisions on my mind before I'm going to sleep. Like, shit, well, how should we play that one? Oh, shit, who do we pay them? Which invoice do we pay?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, which way those decisions don't stop because we own the shit.
Yeah.
And we haven't created the processes yet to allow ourselves at 5 o'clock to turn the brain off. And I don't think it ever really happens. It's because you own this.
Right.
Right? But when you work a job, you don't give a rat's about CIBC, what they got going on.
No, they got to
turn your brain off after they got to figure that out on their own. Someone else is there.
Someone
5
else
o'clock.
does.
When you come back at 9, okay, here, I'm in this. When I leave, I'm gone. So, that part of business and that stress piece that exists I think is a real piece for entrepreneurs and managing that and, dealing with that. And, right?
It's the thing when people say, entrepreneurs are the crazy people that work 16 hours a day for less money.
You're the people that gave up a job,
right?
People that gave up working 9 hours a day for this amount of money and said, no, I'd rather do 16 hours a day and
for
make
less money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's real. Like, that's a real, that's a real statement. I guess the other challenge would be like the manual computing power.
Yeah.
That you're putting on your brain.
Yeah.
Your brain only got so much computing power.
Yeah.
And, when you put business in there, it's taking up a lot.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, it take up a lot.
Yeah. And I mean, for me, it's a million different things happening in my brain. There's a million different tasks I got to do, and then still thinking about top end stuff. So we're playing a lot of positions with it. And it can weigh on you. And, for me, a big part of my, my advice and my outlets would one be finding the time and the space for yourself. You hear it all the time, but it's been exercising, playing sports. I jump in heavily into things like golf. And shit, when I'm playing golf, my phone's off.
Right.
I ain't answering Cavell or Mom or whoever when they call me. I'm out here in this moment. Because if not, I'm going to lose myself. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, boom. In the gym, I'm reading, I'm doing whatever those things are to, allow myself that space. Because, a lot of times I think entrepreneurs fall into the mind frame of just go.
Right.
No days off, no sleep, all that shit. I'm one of those guys, I'm up grinding, I ain't sleeping. It's like, you're going to die.
Yeah.
You're going to die. And matter of fact, your brain won't even work as well as it needs to.
Right.
So it's a bad strategy to be in that mind frame of no sleep
all the time.
No, you know what I'm saying? No.
So you just pulled out a new challenge.
Yeah.
That's one of the next challenges, like the list one, is, finding time for yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
facts.
How can I be my best self? My best self is if I'm obviously at top shape. You know what I mean? And so resetting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like getting to a place to be able to reset. And people don't understand, like, this organ inside of our heads, between our ears.
Yeah.
It's an organ.
Sure.
And
it's a piece of, and good point. I just wanted to double down on that. Because I even lose.
Right.
Like, this needs water.
Right.
I want another word other than an organ. It's a part of your body.
Hell
like,
yeah. It's the most important
You know
part.
what I'm saying? It's like your heart, if you know, or your lungs or your kidneys.
Yeah.
You drink a bunch of alcohol, your kidneys, is it your
Right.
kidney or your liver?
Both
of them. It's just getting fucked up. Right? So, same with your brain. If you're not feeding your brain properly or giving your brain the time
Rest
or whatever is needed
to recover,
your brain gonna
Yeah.
I'm always fearful of having Alzheimer's when I hit 80.
Right.
Because of the shit I put on my
man.
brain.
You hit 80 and get Alzheimer's, you done good.
All right, fuck this. Let's do it. All right, cool.
80?
You're right.
You're right. 80, Alzheimer's at 80. I mean, Alzheimer's, is a very horrible ailment, dementia, that family of disease.
Yeah.
It's really one of those hurtful things to witness, right? So I'm not making a joke against Alzheimer's or none of that stuff, but like I always envision myself, not living to 80, right? So like anything above 80 is like a blessing, you know what I mean? So when he said Alzheimer's at 80, I'm like, you trying to be Joe Biden?
Yeah, man.
Run the country, right? Yeah.
But no, I mean, I think you make a good point of making that time for yourself. That's the challenge. There's very little time for yourself, and even secondly, time for your family,
right?
Right, and with us, we're in a even more tricky situation where it's family business.
Right.
And we're going to talk about that challenge next after this. But the challenge, so I'm with him every day. I'm talking to him every day. I'm with my mom every day. I'm with, my girl every day. All those aspects. But the challenge becomes, okay, well, when's the time to really have family time?
Right.
So like today, I was thinking, like, shit, we ain't never been out as a family in a while. So I called mom, like, what are you doing tonight? Let's go to eat. She was working. She always working, right? So I'm like, well, freak. All right, well, Monday, let's do it. But I think, well, you guys still got something to do tonight?
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
he got something to do tonight.
We'll figure it out.
But the point is, it's hard to find the time to, just go to eat as a family, in this thing. So, okay, shit. The family definitely is affected by that.
100%.
Right?
And especially like if you look at any business, when they said last week we talked about, the Sobeys family.
Yep.
Right? And I talked about how like, involving your kids into your business, it'll help them find ways, creative ways to kind of get you back home faster and make your life easier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like it affects the family. Like when you're building something of these magnitudes, you're not spending the same amount of time regularly that you would be spending, if you were just working 9 to 5, no weekends. Like school teachers, like they get off on holidays and stuff like that. Their work is real, but like, running a business is a whole different world because you never get to unplug.
Yeah.
And so finding that time to really like, this is family time.
Yeah.
And it's no exceptions. You know what I mean? Like, you got to almost be intentional. I think that's the other challenge of for me anyway, the other challenge of being in business is everything you do, it's like intentionally got to be done. Like there's no like by chance. Everything is like scheduled. You got, you know what I mean? Like I got to make sure no matter what, like once a week, I'm going to sit down with my son and we're just going to chop it up. Even if it's 30 minutes, fully present for 30 minutes. You know what I mean? I may not have 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? But for 30 minutes, I'm going to be fully present. If I'm driving you to football practice or picking you up, for that drive home, I'm not looking at my phone. I don't know, like, and real shit. Like, I had to, like, do those type of things because I looked at, like, my life and all of the things that were poured into me and how they were poured into me was because there was time. But I ain't got no time. But man, and so it's like a lot of times I know he'd be kind of looking at me crazy too because he'd be like, man, like this guy, it's just talking to me in codes, like philosophies and all kind of, because it's like I'm really I'm trying to pour it all in him. And so then I had to really learn to just be like, let me just take some time and listen. Let me just just be present. You know what I mean? So I think that's been like a real big challenge, to just find time to be present outside of work. You know what I mean?
No, that's huge, man. And I don't have kids, but within my own relationships, whether it's friends, whether it's my dogs, right? My dogs kind of went through some things, and when I really think of it, it's like, okay, shit, I wasn't able to spend the time needed to train them and to fully present myself as the leader here. Yeah. And now them niggas think
people out there listening. Every time I talk about my kids, this man talk about he does.
Listen, and he won't fully understand it until he gets to understand it, but it's starting to wear down on him a bit. But okay, he has kids. I got dogs.
Yeah.
Dogs they're my kids, right? And people will look at you. And I was that guy. I wasn't a dog person. I'm like, man, your dog's not your kids. Like people, dog dies and dog would die and they crying and like, man, like just get another dog. But now I understand the game. I'm a dog father.
Yeah.
Right. So my dogs are they're my little homies.
Yeah. No.
They're my little niggas that I'm raising and what I put into them, they will show back out in life.
Yeah.
Right. So the shit I teach them, they present like they can understand on a level. So again, when I look at the time I wasn't spending there, that caused them to be in their own mind and have their own. I'm not getting them out enough to walk.
Doing what dogs do.
Doing what dogs do. They start becoming dogs.
Yeah.
But it's like no, it's on me to domesticate them, if you will, and teach them whatever.
Love and nurture of any sort is gonna.
And that's been the biggest lesson for me with the dogs. Is like shit. Like it was a real lesson to see like that putting in that love and putting that nurture into anything. These are dogs. Yeah. But putting that time and there's a reward or there's an output. Yeah. And if you don't, there's also output. Or if you put the wrong things in, there's a consequence. If they see me arguing and going on every day, that energy reciprocates, right? So that's kind of been huge. But no, that challenge, is real with people. And, there's friends that I ain't seen in, they're right in the same place as me, but I ain't seen them in months. Yeah. And if I do see you, we're here, and it's a quick chop up, and it's whatever, and it's still all love, and I hope they know it's still all love. But, shit. I ain't there.
Those are these are real challenges. These are the things that you can't see on social media. You can't see, at a business meeting. Like you just don't see these things. You can't forecast it. Yeah. If you submit your business plan, I think when you write a business plan, you should write your family plan too. Sure. Like alongside with it, like to present this to your family. You know what I mean? Like I think that if you are going into business or if you're in business, or when you're thinking about expanding, the same way that you spend time to make your, plan worthy to the banks. Yeah. You should write a plan that fits
worthy to yourself,
to your family, to the people that you care about, straight. So that they understand what this is going to look like. What's the investment that you're asking of them? You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like the bank is taking a risk on you. Like they're saying here, you know what? We like your plan. We're going to take that risk. We're going to give you this money, and you're going to pay us back over time. I think, but with your family and the people you care about, we often don't value the investment that they're giving up, and what they're giving is time away. Yeah, you know what I mean?
And that's huge, man. I think it's a piece that I don't think that's looked at in any community. Yeah, right. Not only the black community, but around business. You hear of the burnouts and the family fallouts, and I'm always meeting with entrepreneurs, and like. One guy I just met with about a couple weeks ago. He sold his business. He built some kind of website, sold it, made a decent amount of money. He don't got to work no more. Right. But the main part for him wasn't even. It was just, okay, now I'm out of this. Yeah. I'm out of this friggin'. And he had stories of real losing himself. Right. And thoughts of suicide and all. Like he went through a shit ton to build that. Yeah. And he, severed relationship, lost his girlfriend, lost all kind of shit. Yeah. In that journey. And it's like, okay, I come at the end, if I sold it, I made money, but fuck, like
when I look back and I see what was
he said he would never do that again. Right. Even with the money. Like he would never go through that process again. Right.
Yeah. And that's why, to go back to last week's episode, and if you kind of look at the way that we laid these out, and it's, God's plan too, like we're not that smart. No, you know what I mean? Right? We ain't that strategic. But when you talk about the family plan comes before the business plan. Straight. You know what I'm saying? Like the 100-year generational wealth plan comes before the business plan, because at what cost? At what expense? And I think if there's no other lesson that we talk about, I think that is the big piece for anybody. That's going to be your biggest challenge is how do you not lose yourself chasing down your dreams and your plans and all the sacrifice, you know what I mean? Like that you're going to have to go through. It's like, yeah.
And and like you said, I think it's important to avoid that, to that's we're trying to give some of those things up front, for you to be aware you to create that plan, you to write out that plan, you to foresee some of those things.
Yeah.
All right, what are some things that are going to happen that you think are going to change?
Yeah.
Here are some things you might not have thought of. And, the more you're prepared and planned for, okay, here's how you work against them.
Right.
Right? And for us, year 3, we're learning.
Right.
We're learning in it. We're learning some of the things that are need to sacrifice, and we're learning some ways to manufacture and work. We're learning that, man, maybe the business will be all right for me to leave for a day or for me to turn it off at 5. It's just still going to be there tomorrow.
Right.
Right. Creating those structures, building a team, and we're going to get into that stuff as well. But just being aware of those things for sure.
No, it's real.
Yeah. The next challenge, that we see a lot and kind of piggybacks off of that is the parties and the fun. We're partiers. We're fun kind of guys. We like to be amongst and around and around the folks and hitting people's birthday parties.
We do it for the people, so we got to be present.
Exactly. Right? Exactly. And talk a bit about, that challenge and how that has kind of shown itself.
Well, to all of my listeners, to anybody that's out there that, that know me and that you're listening right now, and you wondering why you don't see me all the time on those Saturday nights and all the time on those, because, man, I be working 6 a.m. Sunday and like 7 to 8 a.m. Saturday.
Yep.
And, I'm a sleep guy. I got to get 5. You know what I mean? Or if I don't get the 5, if I get the 3 or the 4 on Monday or whatever, I'm going to crash. So before we could, when we first started the business, we would have so many days off. Now we just filled all these days up with all kind of other shit. So I really don't have no real true day off. So there's no reset day. So I got to get it as it comes. So I can't do the pizza corner. You know what I mean? Like the way that Nova Scotia clubbing is set up, the way that Nova Scotia parties is set up, people don't even show up till 12, 1 o'clock. I'm 2 hours in sleep.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? I got to be up at 5 a.m. So like, your boy needs sleep, man.
Sure,
you know what I mean? Like I need sleep. And so, but that's so hard to like look at the homies and be like, yo, bro, I'm going.
I'm out of here.
Sometimes I don't even say bye. I just leave. Like that's
dip.
hard. It hurts me. Like it hurts me
dip.
when I can't show up. It hurts me when, I can't be present to share in those moments. Like if it's somebody's 50th birthday or so-and-so, like it hurts.
Yeah, for sure.
That's one. And with Snapchat, man, like block me. On the week, can you guys block me on Saturday nights? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to see it. You know what I mean? I don't want to. I feel like I missed it, right? So that's a big challenge, man.
No, it's real. And, like you said, a lot of birthdays, a lot of places, a lot of, club nights, whatever that just can't pull up to. I become real selective on and it's hard, and it makes you feel a little fucked up to be selective on.
Right.
Okay, shit. Or even what do I got tomorrow where I can go there and man, I have plenty of times when I'm out, I'm just gone. Yeah. And a couple people they know now, like when they see me starting to gather, like, oh, you out? I'm like, right. Yeah. But that challenge, and even on other ends of like, okay, trips, well, COVID, but even before COVID or without COVID,
right,
we ain't been able to go,
right.
We spent a lot of time in Toronto, a lot of club nights in Toronto. I got a lot of people, a lot of building in Toronto. Yeah, that shit, I can't come. My homies in the States, that school every summer, Dre and Cam, they want me to come down to New York, right? And I just can't. I can't pull a week or 2 weeks or whatever it is to really do that. Yeah. And that's a sacrifice, right?
100%.
We got FaceTime and shit, but we ain't been able to connect. Shit, I got homies in the league. Right. I've been wanting to go down to San Francisco. Right. Or, go down to Memphis and all that, connect with the dogs and have a moment, check them out in the league. Right. We was grinding together in grade 11, grade 12, whatever. And, now you in the league, but those sacrifices are real. Yeah. And again, the rationale is, okay, 5 years, 10 years, we on 3 month.
I'm trying to be rich forever.
We on 3 month.
That's
trips.
probably one of my, like, if I had a life soundtrack, Rick Ross,
rich forever.
John Legend.
We gonna be rich forever.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like that.
That's play that one.
That's
in the background.
Yeah,
here.
That's something that I'm trying to accomplish.
Straight.
You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to be rich forever, and it takes some sacrifice now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it all depends on you and what your plan is. But like, there's no shortage of challenges in business.
And we'll go right to the next one. Finding and building a team.
They say good help is hard to find.
Good help is hard to find.
Good help is even harder to hire.
Tell me about it.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you shoveling your driveway, you could probably flag someone down. If you're pushing your car, like, you know, you could find good help. But like, when you want someone to help you shovel every day, oh man,
it ain't easy, right? And you know, for us, I mean, shit, we got some roles we looking to fill right now. We've been looking to fill them since about January.
Yeah,
we still don't got them all filled.
No,
right? And yeah, man, I don't know exactly what there's a lot of reasons behind it, but there's a lot of challenges with hiring, with finding good help. We had different people in, and didn't work out, whatever. But we know that to build our business and to get to those places, one, where we can take some steps back, but two, for the business to really grow and to make sense, we can't be wearing 10 different hats. But building that team has been a real challenge, right?
Finding the right people, like in any organizational structure, whether it be sports or whatever, like finding the right fit. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, we watch sports a lot. Sometimes you'll see the team that goes and spends all the money to go get the biggest names. Then they shit the bed when it's time to play because they're not a good fit. And then you'll see this team with like one mediocre star and then everybody else knows their role. They got a deep bench and they got a great coach and just all the stuff and everything clicks. So finding the right fit is really important.
Yeah.
But what I've been seeing, I don't know if this is an everywhere problem, but especially in Nova Scotia, what I've been seeing a lot lately is looking for work, now hiring. Wendy's is doing like interviews. You don't even got to put in a resume. Just show up. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 to 5. Like, I know that because I'm driving by the sign.
I see it every day.
Everywhere I go, I see people hiring. And it's like, well, what? Like, everybody rich?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Everyone,
like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's weird because, like, you look at the population. Like, our population is growing. You know what I mean? Like, Nova Scotia's population is growing. So I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, like, not like we ain't even looking to find a perfect match. We're just looking for, like, people are looking just to fill a role, right? So like it's strange. And so from the business point of view, that limits you to what you can do inside of your business. You know what I mean? Like, if your idea is to start, I don't know, making microphones and you need someone to plug them in. And but you can't get no one to plug them in.
No one to plug them in.
That holds your business up to how many orders
you plugging them
take.
in.
Exactly.
And now you can't take it to this level because of those reasons.
Yeah.
And kind of the next challenge piggybacked off of that, that we found, for us within our business, we have a real strong, everything we do is for the hood, for the community. So a big part of us is hiring within the community.
Yeah.
And I think that's also come with some challenges. Maybe lay that out a bit. What we've seen and what's that challenge? There's a few different things there, but what exists really?
Yeah,
that challenge?
There's definitely a lot of challenges in hiring within your community. Like, I won't say like our community. I'll say within your community, because wherever you're at in business and you're trying to hire your people, it's going to present a challenge. And one of the main challenges is because the things that matter to you matter to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and so the things that affect you affect them. And for us specifically, like when we now focus in on our community, North Preston, Black Nova Scotia, like one of the things, like one of the most weirdest things, but it's the realest thing is like when people pass away, when people die in our community, like it affects all of us. And so now we're like, our staff, our employees, like, they like
everyone had a close relationship.
Everyone has a close right.
They all got to go to the funeral. They're gonna need a day off.
Right, they need the day off. Like regularly in the regular world, it's like take all the time you need. You know what I mean? And boom, but like, well, we can't take all the time we need because our business won't be able to operate today. Yeah. Right. So that's like specifically like one of the things that like the things that affect you affect the people in your
and it go even deeper. It really. It touches all of us, right? Like from owners to employees to the entire team. Yeah. Right. One of the, in the sense of, I won't go too specific, but yeah, it touches all of us in that sense of if something happens in the community, we're all affected.
Right.
Right. And shit, well, I'm probably going to need the time.
Right.
I mean, I will give this a little specific example. Like, something happened to a young man in our community.
Yeah.
And, okay, well, all of our staff, he was a young man that touched Quintez. Shout out to Quintez.
Yeah.
God bless his soul.
Real man.
Super, super touched to a lot of people in the community in general. But specifically our staff.
Yeah.
And our family.
Yeah.
Right? So, but the next day, we had to work.
Right.
But, okay, we're not expecting our staff to come there. And shit, I'm super affected because I had to carry this man to the hospital.
Right. Mm-hmm.
While he's on his deathbed.
Yeah.
Still choked me up to say it, but the next day I had to fucking come to work.
Right.
Because if I don't come to work, we got 100 customers that
are upset today
that don't get there because I'm such a crucial piece to what's happening.
Yeah.
So that piece of like, that challenge within the community is
the things affect you. You know what I mean? Like, and it's the kind of like it touches us all. You know what I mean? And now it's like we got to lift in places that we didn't think we had to lift.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we can't plan for those type of things.
Yeah.
And when your whole staff is, so close and all that, it's just a real big challenge. And then I kind of even like just to kind of not change gears, but in the same breath, it's like that separation piece.
Yeah.
Like, how do you what type of animal would you be?
Exactly.
To say to somebody like,
you gotta work.
Well, nope, you can't have today off because I know what you're gonna go do.
Yeah.
You're going to the funeral or you're just mourning. Like that's like animal.
For sure.
Like that would be really savage. You know what I mean? And so because we know it gives us a disadvantage because we can't operate like straight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's that's a challenge.
Yeah,
like
it's a crazy
I don't know
challenge.
I don't even know who you would talk to to figure out
and it's such a unique
right
where I don't think there's many communities like North Preston that something like that could exist.
Yeah.
Like that situation is one in a million situations where 5 people in our business are like would probably talk to him yesterday.
Right.
And I'm there, whatever, all the situations that doesn't exist often.
Yeah.
And, one of to stick on the community piece, I think another part that we see is a blessing as well, the familiarity, and we get to bond together. But another part of the challenge that I've seen is sometimes it becomes too familiar, right? Where, we have people that come in, hey, you were looking for a job, and then shit, you're missing shifts or whatever the case is. Then I tap in, what's up? Yeah, no, I didn't really want to work. I just thought you guys needed help or we don't need freaking help. It's not we're not picking up garbage.
Right. This ain't good.
Right. This ain't, but I get it. Okay, you want to be in the community working, but like this is a business.
Right.
If you didn't want to work.
Yeah.
Right.
They'll understand peace. So like the closer the people are to you, the more they feel that you understand, that you'll understand. Like they cool, they'll be all right.
I don't gotta call him today to tell him I ain't coming. He'll get it. I'll just message him later on.
And the challenge is like really kind of, how do you separate? You know what I'm saying? Like how do you separate those personal relationships, in business? You know what I'm saying? Like how do you really draw that line? That's the if we were to pull that challenge, or like that's a big challenge. Like, hiring your friends and because now they got to see you as their boss. And how do you even be the boss? You know what I mean? Like, right. So that's one of those things that like, it's hard to coach men.
Yeah.
I think that I'm a good basketball coach, right? Like I've coached, for a lot of years. And what really turned me away from wanting to coach is when I started going into men's tournaments and I would be the coach. So I ain't playing no more. Now I got to coach these men, my friends. Yeah. And I got to sub you out right now. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? And it
man, come on, bro.
Yeah. Like it's just this like, yo, bro, what do you want to fight me? Like, what are we talking about here? And so it's hard to coach your peers.
And a quick little sidebar there, it's studies. It is hard to coach as a man, coach men and your peers. And, this is a little bit misogynist on Apple's part, not mine. So, you look at Siri. They made Siri a woman because it's harder to tell a man what to do. Yeah. Like you can say to a woman, hey, Siri, go grab this. Yeah. Or, hey, Siri, what's the weather like?
Yeah.
So And we look at a lot of different things like that are women voices or women, because it's easier to psychologically from what we've been conditioned to tell a woman. So if you hear me, people say, man, why you got a male Siri? That's why I got, you go in your settings and change your voice to male.
Right.
And I changed my voice to male to, one, work on that, because like I got to lead men and what I'm trying to do. And it feels weird. Like, hey, Siri. You say, hey, hello. So hey, man.
You got the man named Siri?
But you can't change his name.
Oh, okay.
So that's iffy.
Right.
You know, that's a little iffy. But the Siri could be a male. So anyway, my Siri's a male, and I be telling that nigga to grab what I need to grab. So change your male to Siri. We're gonna tap to a couple more challenges. One of the next one that I see, as entrepreneurs, we're entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. So when I say we're entrepreneurs, we like to build businesses. We like to bring business to life. We talked about it earlier. We don't always like to manage and do that side of things. What has that challenge been like? Or even, million ideas. Since starting our first business, we probably started with 4 or 5 others since then. Yeah. And I think that's a challenge of, honing in on ideas.
Decisions.
Not taking decisions, not jumping at every opportunity. How do you think about that?
Yeah, so I think, that goes back to like, because we talked about decisions, and a lot of time people think like decisions are like, should I mop the floor today or mop it tomorrow? Mm-hmm. Like those are the decisions. Yeah. But then there's the decisions of direction. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like what direction should I go in? Mm-hmm. Should I be this type of service or should I be that type of service? Mm-hmm. And, when you're first starting business, what happens is, there's so many different type of customers. Yeah. And people kind of will try to dictate to you what your business should be and how you should, what offerings you should offer. Mm-hmm. And when you're trying to get like, especially when you're first starting, like you're just trying to bring in money.
Yeah.
So
you say yes to everything.
You say yes to everything. You're offering 100 things, but it's like, I think that decision piece of like really like, you know what? Hey, this is what we're doing. Yeah. In the beginning, you might not get every customer. Yeah. You know what I mean? In the beginning, you might not hit every target, but you got to stay locked in, because if not, you're going to end up being in a lot of different directions. And, it just causes for confusion. Mm-hmm.
You know and I think, a crucial piece there is the structure and a plan, right? So, in the beginning, if you have a period, all right, this 3 months, we're going to say yes to everything. This is beta, testing. All right, we're saying yes. We're going to see, because we don't really know yet. We're going to see which side is bringing in the most.
But that, this is going to be the first disagreement. Mm-hmm. Beta comes before
the business.
Right.
Yeah, before the business. Yeah. So that's why this is beta testing before. Okay, now we make the decision of where we're going to. But I think it is crucial to always listen to customers. Right. The customer is deciding what's happening. And, it's important to be laser focused, but it's also important to be agile. Right. So, but I think it has to come with structure. So to say, all right, well, every 90 days, here's what we're doing for 90 days. Yeah. And here's what we're doing for the year. Mm-hmm. Okay, after 90 days, we review, well, this place, the research is showing this way is not working. Right. The world's changing this way. Right. Right. If Pizza just says, or whoever says, we're just a sit-in restaurant. COVID happens.
You're not sitting in no more.
You're not sitting in no more. Yeah. So you have to be able to make that decision to change. But again, you are right with saying we don't want you jumping everywhere. Every customer hollers, we do that. Right. It's like, no, here's what we do. Here's what we do well. We're gonna hone in on that. Yeah. And we have sessions and structure to review that when it's time to review. Right. Okay? And if this still works, we're doing it. Right. If not, then we could look to switch. Amazon, they sold books, right? That's what they did. Mm-hmm. At some point, he's seen that they might have had a decision to bring in another product. Right. He said, man, them other products is booming. Okay, they made a decision. We're going to open up to what we do.
And I think, definitely, the process is going to matter, right? Yep. Like, you got to have processes of decisions. I guess all of these challenges, there has to be, I don't know the word, but there has to be a lever for them. Like, there's an answer for those things. You know what I mean? And you have to be able to adapt. 100%, you got to be able to adapt. I just think, for businesses that are starting and even businesses that are running, I talk to a lot of businesses. I talk to a lot of people that are like, new in business and getting into business. And one of the things I always see is like, they have a million offerings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
no, for sure.
And I'd be like, holy shit, like, that's a lot to keep. Like, they don't even know. Like, if I ask them, like, yo, how much does this cost? They don't even know. They're like, okay, let me go run through the scroll. You know what I mean? So, like, just really trying to stay, like, locked in. I think that's...
Yeah, no, that's crucial. You know, finding your niche.
Right.
What do you do?
What are you the best in the world
Exactly.
Right.
No, that's a very important piece. I seen the other day on Uber Eats, there was a restaurant, was like called Sandy's Pizza, Fish, and something else. What the hell you guys doing over there? Like, it's actually, I wish I could pull the picture up, but yeah, you're all over the place.
Right.
And you go in the menu, it's overwhelming. You're doing the most. There's no way you can't make good chicken wings if you also making, you got your chef making 30, 40 other things. Right. So, being focused on what you do is important. The only piece I was adding is keeping your mind open and staying close to the streets.
Right.
Maybe the streets don't want pizza no more.
Right.
Right. So, okay, now we got to adjust in what we do. But having that structure is important.
Yep.
The last piece I'll bring, one of the challenges that I've seen for us is, working in the food industry. I think it's a big challenge. It's labor intensive, finding cooks, finding chefs, food prices rising, the margins of the business
shrinking,
some of the taxing and things of that sort, investment opportunities for food. There's a lot of shit within that. But yeah, I mean, maybe speak a bit about, the challenges of working in a food business.
My first answer was going to be don't enter. The food game is
real.
Hardcore.
Yeah, when you hear about it, it's real when they say it.
Yeah, but people got to eat.
They got to eat. It's a good business.
Yeah, it's going to be forever
Potential.
marketplace. You know what I mean? But just know when you coming into this space, like, it's going to be real. A lot of businesses, a lot of times we see, especially in the Black community, like, it'll be like pop-up food places. And, I said this a few times before, but I guess I'll go on the record again and say this. People would always hit me up, and be like, oh, did you see so-and-so? Oh, this. And it'd be like they were expecting me to be upset.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm like...
That's how it is in the Black world.
Yeah, like, I'm like upset. Like, no, like, if anything, I'm compassionate for them because do they know what they're getting into? I want to help them out. I want to try to help alleviate some of the stress that they're going to run into because at the end of the day, people got to eat every day, 3 to 4 times a day. So we ain't feeding them all at once. So, like, Masterpiece had a Gucci and Prada on the same block. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're on the same corner in Beverly Hills, right? Like, we could be on the same block.
McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. Matter of fact, they strategically place each other beside each other.
They in the same block. So, like, I ain't worried about that. So I guess, like, this is a ragged, rough road.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you can make it through that and you make it to that other side, then hats off to you. But, like, that is the industry itself is challenging.
It's a tough industry,
right? Like, food waste and margins, like you said, prices fluctuating. Customers just kind of deciding that they don't want to eat here today. Like, there's so many things that, like, create a challenge in the food business. You know what I mean? So, like, your inventory don't last forever.
Inventory, there's a ton of challenges and risk within that. The key piece. I want to just touch on the piece with the Black businesses. So I get the same stuff. Man, look at those ones copying, or look at this. And I think as Black people, we have a real crab in a bucket mentality where only one of us can win. It's like, no, man, if the more Black Nova Scotian soul food businesses, the better. Right. The more eyes. Right. The more people that pay attention, the more it just...
We industrialize it. We become an industry.
It's the food, the Canadian food market is trillions of dollars, billions of dollars. Yeah. The Nova Scotia food industry is billions of dollars. Yeah. So we only getting like $500,000 of that, right? If that. So
there's so much space.
There's a lot more to go.
And bringing more eyes to the parade. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, the bigger the parade, the better. Like,
the people that own the bicycle thief. Yeah. Their group.
Right, yeah.
They got about 4 or 5 other restaurants, just like bicycle. El Mercado, Frasca, all Italian. Yeah. They're not saying They're competing with
Yeah.
their own self.
Yeah, you buy the gift card, it goes to all
Exactly.
of them, right?
Exactly. Right. So yeah, man.
Let's do that, man. Let's make the Black Food
Black
Business
Food
gift card.
That'd be
You
dope.
know what I mean?
That'd
Right?
be dope.
Black Nova Scotian Food gift card.
Be a cool little little Christmas project.
Exactly.
Put that one in.
That
the,
one's
in
going
the
in
hopper.
yeah, if you beat us to it,
Yeah.
holler.
Just holler.
You know what I
As a
mean?
matter of fact, if someone wants to do it, do it.
Do it and just holler.
We'll put us on there.
Right? Just
But,
put us in.
Yeah, well, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
The Black Food Business and the Black Business gift card.
Gift
you
card.
got a $100 gift card.
Yeah.
And, go
And you
to
can
any,
shop at any black business.
Shit,
Black Nova
sick.
Scotia business.
Dope.
See that? Somebody, that's a business.
That's how it happens.
You know what I mean?
That's
You
how it
take that
happens.
on. I don't want to take it on, right? But if we got to, we will. And that's
We will.
our crazy crusader mindset. Like,
yeah.
we don't be wanting to do the shit, but if it ain't gonna get done,
that can't not exist.
yeah, it gotta
And
exist.
Either we're gonna do it, and that's where our growth is. The who, not how.
Yeah.
Who, not what. Okay. Let's not figure out what we're gonna do to do it.
Yeah,
Let's call the people.
yeah,
Are you interested in taking this on? No. Okay. Psh. You interested? Here's your benefit.
yeah,
Here's our vision for
yeah,
it. Here's what it could look like. Now you take it and just call us when you need us.
yeah.
Okay, you need us to make the call? Cool. You need us to introduction? But let's who, not how. You're going to hear me say that a lot. Who, not how is huge.
And even in that too, like we talk about, like we ain't that smart. Like we just sitting there, we having a
People
conversation.
always ask, how do ideas, man, how you be getting ideas?
We just be watching.
This is how the ideas
Bicycle
come.
Thief, El Mercantile, Lafrasca, all them joints. They did it. So we're like, oh shoot, wait a minute. There's an opportunity for us to do that, to package ourselves in that same format. So like, you know,
Become a copycat.
yeah.
But that's all we got for today. You know, some of the challenges, if there's any challenges you feel or you face, yeah, we open to hear this conversation. It might be an opportunity to have a black business forum, right? A black business place where we come and chat and discuss and all that. But more ideas. But yo, thanks for tuning in. Another day, episode 4. It's all love. I'm a businessman. Boom.
I'm a business man. Peace.